So, Season 2 for the Lorcana Challenge series has been announced over the weekend at the end of the World Championships, and quite a lot of members of the community are feeling a little unsure about the news that we have been given. So in this video, we're going to dive into the news first and foremost and talk about kind of what it means and give my thoughts on it as well. My name is Ben Fitzpatrick. I'm a TCG caster, so that just means I love talking about them. So let's do that right now. But before we get into any of the information in today's video, be sure to drop a like rating on it, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you do not miss an upload. Also, while you're down there, drop me a follow over on X. We are close to 350 followers and close to 50 subscribers on the channel as well. I think just 2 away from the time of recording. So if we can get those, that'd be absolutely incredible. So, the Disney Lorcana Challenge. What a lot of people that are watching into this video might not know is that I was a big supporter and a big believer of Disney Lorcana when the game was first announced. I still do enjoy Lorcana. I haven't played it in quite some time now. I'll chuck a picture in the edit here of me actually winning my mat at the set championships for Ursula's Return with Ruby Sapphire Control. Is what I played at that event. But yeah, I'm a fan of Lorcana. I really enjoy it. Obviously, I'm a Disney kid at heart, was raised on Disney. So a trading card with Disney characters is just screams absolute green flag to me. But they had their first World Championships over the weekend. Big shout out to DKP for being the first ever Disney Lorcana World Champion. Well thoroughly deserved. And in that broadcast on day 2, they gave us information about the new wave, the second season of Disney Lorcana Challenges, which is their kind of regionals, as it were. So, the dates are as follows. For North America, Milwaukee, Wisconsin in October, Richmond, Virginia next January, Indianapolis in June, and then the North American Championships in September. And then in Europe, we've got Bologna on October, Ghent next March, Dortmund in June, and then the European Championship also in September 2026. And then a bit of a breakdown of the tournament structure, which has changed in Season 2. Big piece of community feedback was that the best of 2 game format didn't feel super rewarding. I know that was one of the big sort of turn-offs and drawaways from myself from wanting to play or try the game at a high competitive level, was the best of 2 game system really felt awkward. It felt like you were going to end up with a lot more draws than you were being able to win. You'd have to go 2-0 to be able to get that win record, as opposed to going 1-1 and then not having a game 3 to decide things. That has been changed. It is best of 3 the entire way, except for the grand finals, because the grand final goes to a best of 5. So we've changed to best of 3. Big thumbs up from me, and a big thumbs up from a lot of the community from what I'm gathering and reading online. We're also getting in challenge number 3, Infinity Constructed. Now, Infinity Constructed is going to be the expanded format for Disney Lorcana, because rotation is coming into play with the next set. Fabled is going to bring rotation into the game, and with Fabled they're going to be reprinting some of the cards from the first 4 sets from memory are the ones that are going to be rotated out, but some of those cards will stay in core constructed, aka standard for most other seasoned trading card game players. They are going to stay legal for Challenges 1 and 2. But for Challenge 3, so for Dortmund for Europe and for Indianapolis for North America, it's going to be Infinity Constructed. It's going to be that expanded format, which I think is really cool and really interested. Again, another big thumbs up from me, and I think another big thumbs up from a lot of members of the community. They're happy to see that this extra format, this expanded format, is being supported at a competitive level. It's not just going to be a side events only thing that players are free to happy to play, similar to like a more collective mode of gameplay, like Commander in Magic the Gathering or Twin Suns in Star Wars Unlimited. It is going to be a format that is going to be fully supported. It's going to have its own banned and restricted list as well. That was announced when Infinity was unveiled during the second anniversary or the first anniversary Lorecast as well. So really, really big thumbs up there. And it seems on the face of it like there's a lot of good things to talk about here and a lot of good things to focus on. However, the problem, and where a lot of the community is saying, well, hang on a second, maybe this big announcement and all this news isn't as cracked up as it should be, is the number of events that have been announced. Only 3 events for both North America and Europe. The North American events all being located in one very, very specific region of the country. There's none over on the West Coast here. It's primarily kind of the smaller East Coast area here with Indianapolis, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Nothing in anywhere like Canada, nothing in South America here either. Nothing at all in Australia at all. There was the Melbourne Championships in Australia last time. I think they've announced, now Pokemon that's announced the Auckland special event, but nothing for Australasia or that kind of region here so far. Europe, it is focused entirely in mainland Europe, Italy, Belgium, Germany. There's nothing in the UK. There's nothing in France here. There's nothing in Portugal, Spain, anything like that. It is fixated to the sort of mainland Central Europe kind of regions, and all very, very dotted around date-wise. October for Italy, for example, and then a huge wait until the next one in Belgium, and then again a big wait, a solid 3-4 month wait for Germany, and then the European Championship. So a lot of the player base is saying at the moment, well, this is too few, considering where we were in the first year of the challenge season. So we had 4 challenges in Europe, for example, Lille, Bochum, Bologna, and Birmingham, and then the European Championship. And then North America, you had Atlanta, Chicago, Seattle, and Toronto. Toronto, very, very important here because of that Canadian reach. And also, look, Dallas, Las Vegas up here as well. So you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 6 championships or 6 challenges in North America. And then 4 challenges in Europe, as well as the Melbourne Challenge to help Oceania, to help out Australia and New Zealand players when they got Disney Lorcana a little bit down the line. They had a slightly different and staggered release window as opposed to North America and Europe. So the big question that a lot of people are asking is going to be why, first and foremost. Why is there so few challenges that have been announced here when everything has been sort of geared up to be bigger and better for Lorcana Season 2? And the honest question and the honest answer to that is I don't know. This decision to me, from Ravensburger's point of view, is absolutely baffling. When you have had such a successful first season of 6 North American challenges and then the actual North American Championship and then 4 and the big one in Europe, why you would scale back here. I really don't understand why this is happening. The events all pretty much sold out as far as I'm led to believe in Season 1 as well. I think I tried for Lille, I think, and the tickets sold out really, really quickly. So they're still popular events. Loads and loads of people were tuning into the World Championship live stream. I think I tuned in at a point during the end of day 1, and there was still about 3,500-4,000 people still watching the broadcast on day 1, let alone on day 2, when the grand final is being played. That's always when you're going to usually reach your peak viewership in a TCG broadcast. I should know, I've been doing these for now like 2.5 years, which is a crazy sentence to say. But even last weekend, the weekend that's just passed at the time of recording this, I was a part of the broadcast team for the One Piece card game Toulouse offline regional championships, and our peak viewer point was during the grand final. We reached just over 2,000 viewers during the grand final. So there's still a lot of support and a lot of interest in this game from a basic level and a competitive standpoint as well. So it seems really, really confusing to me why you would say, okay, we're going to do Season 2 bigger and better. We're going to do the next year of Lorcana bigger and better. We're going to have best of threes. We're going to have 2 days of Swiss across the tournament as well. 8 rounds on day 1, 4 rounds on day 3 and on day 2, and then the cut to the top 32 as well. That is a great step. That is a great forward step to take the competitive sphere of Disney Lorcana in the sort of, we're taking this really seriously point of view. But then to announce so few events at the start of Season 2 is really, really confusing. I'd understand if we were still in the first season. I'd understand if we were still trying to take sort of baby steps here. But we've gotten the baby steps way out of the way. We've been sprinting here. And if you're Ravensburger, you'd be looking at these numbers. You'd be looking at the amount of players that are wanting to play. The amount of outcry there was even from closing the World Championship. The World Championships was a closed invite-only event that only those that qualified were able to attend. You should have seen the outcry from that and thought, you know what, there's still a lot of hype and a lot of demand for this game. So this feels like it's a massive, massive misstep, and it's why I've called this video the Lorcana Paradox. Because Ravensburger here still feel like they're trying to experiment when we've already found a strong competitive formula here. We've just refined it now in terms of how the competitive structure is actually going to work. So, it all looks kind of slightly doom and gloom from what we're saying here, despite the seasoning of, oh, okay, we've got best of 3 now finally in these challenges. We're going to support both formats in the challenges as well. Is there a slight kicker? Is there a slight moment where we need to take some pause and go, well, actually. And I'm ambitious enough to say, yes, there is. This is because of the challenge update that we got at the start of last season, April 5th, 2024, after Atlanta and Lille were first announced and immediately sold out with a lower player cap. First and foremost, the player cap got increased. I would be shocked to see if that player cap either shrinks or I'd be shocked to see if that player cap shrinks, in all honesty, for these challenges first and foremost. I think these caps are going to stay the same, if not potentially increase again as well, to try and account for the amount of players that are going to now want to race to these limited Disney Lorcana challenge events because you've announced so few. That's the first point. The second point is the additional expansion that there was through Season 1. And again, a small pinch of salt can potentially be taken with this, because this was the first season, and this was the time where Ravensburger had the opportunity to just sort of try things out and figure out what the demand was going to be. But once that demand was finally achieved and was reached, Ravensburger said, okay, you know what? We understand, we hear the demand. We're going to plan some more events before the Continental Championships, that North American and European big event that's going to be happening in Season 2 in September of 2026. There was additional plans and additional events that got held. Do I think that that's going to be the case here for Season 2? With the way the events are spaced out, I certainly hope so. I certainly think that there is the potential for that, because you've left yourself so much time here to squeeze an event or 2 in between each of these events. Even if it's just an extra 2 more or 3 more. If you take advantage of the gaps that you've left yourself, and I'm gonna focus on Europe here as well, but the maths works out true for North America as well. October and March, you've got an opportunity to hold one in January. Or, no, November's probably a bit too soon. You've got an opportunity to hold one in January. February, maybe at a push. March and June, you've got an opportunity to hold one in May. June and September, this one's maybe a little bit awkward, a little bit too close, but you still potentially have an opportunity to hold one in August here. Same rings true for North America. October and January, you've definitely got time to hold one in December here. December might be a little bit awkward because it's the Christmas period, but if you go early December, then that is an opportunity, and hold it in California or something like that. January to June, you've got ample time here to hold one in March or April, and put it in Toronto or Quebec or something, somewhere like that. Really, really easy. June and September, again, a little bit more awkward, just like it was with the last gap between the last challenge and the Continentals, but you've still got an opportunity to hold one in early August, potentially here, as an example, and put this one towards the north of America, so maybe somewhere like, I don't know, put it in New York. Just put it in New York. It'll be really, really easy. It is more east side again, I know, but, you know, it's an opportunity, you know. So there is plenty of time, and they've allowed themselves the gaps to do so. Whether this has been done deliberately, or whether this is just convenience, I don't know. I'm not in those conversation circles. Very few people are going to be. But I think that, and there is already quite a lot of pressure and quite a lot of putback that's been onto Disney and Ravensburger from the Lorcana player base, saying this isn't enough. This does not feel enough. This feels like a massive step back, despite the baby steps forwards that we are taking with the alterations to tournament structure and the fact that Infinity is going to get supported in that third challenge. So, I don't know. Ultimately, I'd love to see this game continue to flourish. I'd love to see more events and more opportunities being held for this great game. It is a really, really fun game if you haven't tried it. I definitely think when Fable does come out and that standard rotation does happen, I think I'm going to try and make a bit more and go a bit more into Lorcana content. There'll be some historical Lorcana content on my channel already from when the game first launched. So you know that I've been there from the beginning. I have tried to be here from the beginning for Disney Lorcana. I've just had a few missteps along the way in the maze, but we've gotten rid of the Cheshire Cat. We've made sense of all the upside down arrows and signage. So we are back on track with Disney Lorcana potentially. Even for myself as a caster, I would love the opportunity to cast Disney Lorcana. I've made that no secret right at the start of the game. I was saying, Lorcana, I want to be there for the first challenges. Unfortunately, didn't get an opportunity or didn't get the right conversations. But Season 2, I would love to be there for a Disney Lorcana challenge. I've worked with Ross Gilbert before, the Wassy, on One Piece and Star Wars. I've worked with Spessy, Joe Curley on Star Wars as well before. Both really, really fantastic guys. Had the opportunity to meet Baker very, very briefly as well during MCM Comic Con. Baker, if you're watching this, was great to meet you very, very briefly. Wish we had a little bit more time. But hopefully, a Lorcana challenge. You never know. You never know. So, that is going to be the end of this video then, and it is over now to you. What is your thoughts on these initial announcements, or what do you think are going to be the future steps for Ravensburger? If you did enjoy this video as well, please be sure to drop a like rating on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you do not miss a video. But until that next video, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.